Well, hello there folks, and welcome back to the Whiskey Friend with me, Alan. Here we are again, new week, new video. This is a wee bit different, this video, guys. This is a Patreon gift to the channel. So one of my Patreons, Mr. David Mason, gifted me these bottles, but he's gifted me them blind. So he sent me some blind samples. Whiskey Friend doing blind reviews. My, this could be Car Crash TV, or it could be something special. So it's the first time I've done a Patreon gift to the channel. It's the first time I've done a 4 blind lined up, I think, on the channel. He sent me them blind. The only information he's given me is that they're all from North Star Spirits, so that kind of gives me a wee bit of a clue. But as I did a wee bit of research, I looked out, and North Star Spirits have got hundreds of bottles of whiskey, so it didn't really give me any information. All I know up front is they're from North Star. So I'm looking forward to these. North Star are independent bottlers out of Glasgow, up there in Scotland. So some wonderful, wonderful stuff. I've picked up a few of their bottles along the way. But I'm looking forward to tackling these. They look wonderful. But without any further ado, you're probably wondering who this geezer is. This is my little monkey malt mate. The Whiskey Friend is doing a bit of babysitting today. The wife is out at work and I've been left holding the baby. This is little Polo, my little monkey malt mate. I did ask him if he wanted to try one of these. As you can see, he's got a glass in his hand there. He's a wee bit partial to whiskey. I did ask him if he wanted a sip of these. He said, no. Polo's a Springbank fan. Sitting there with a bit of Springbank 10 in his glass. Loving it. So, nice wee introduction there to Polo. So hopefully he behaves himself today. I'm sure he'll keep me right with these blind whiskey tastings here. So without any further ado, guys, I'm just going to dive in. Going to nose them, taste them. I'm not going to score them because it's a sample. I'll probably, it's somewhere along the line, maybe give you some thoughts on them. Maybe pick out what my favourite is of the bunch. So let's dive in. So let's do the first one. Let's get the coin off this one. This looks lovely. Lovely, beautiful colour on that one. Absolutely. It even looks like it's going to be nice and thick. It looks oily. That coat line is just sitting there beautifully. Nothing moving. Those legs are going to just take their time to come down. They're just starting to move now. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. But let's nose it. Okay. I thought this was going to be bourbon but it smells. There's some sherry notes there. Wow. Rich. But it's spicy. Some spicy sherry notes. Cinnamon. Maybe some soft bacon spices. Maybe a few of the others are there. Cinnamon's the one that kind of jumps out. Little sweetness to it. Some chocolate toffee. In fact, it smells like it's chocolate covered toffee. Wow. Spices there. It's spicy. Those legs are starting to pop down now. Hopefully that's coming out there. Those legs look wonderful. But yeah. It's gone a little bit nutty now. So I'm thinking maybe with those sherry notes, nutty. I'd probably have a stab at Oloroso. Dark fruit, dried fruit. It's a little bit grassy and a little bit outdoor. But all those usual sherry notes are there. The raisins, the figs, the dates, all of that stuff's there. But a real outdoor feel to it. Smells like it's nice and light. Spicy. Wow. Okay, guys, let's have to whiz through these. I've got a lot to go through today, so I'm going to dive through and try and make this as quick as I can. So, down the hatch, folks. Wow. Rich. Punchy. Spicy. ABV, I think it's got a decent ABV with that. I'm thinking maybe somewhere 50 to 55, somewhere in there. But it's rich. It's chocolatey. Milk chocolate, definitely milk chocolate. A little bit punchy, a little bit spicy. It's got a little bit bready. Bready, cakey, buttery. Wow, buttery. Maybe some buttered toast. But it's bready, cakey, fruity. Thinking maybe some apple, maybe some stewed apple. Maybe some poached pears. But it's creamy, it's buttery. Let's do one more quick sip. That's research, Polo. Yeah, creamy, buttery, syrupy, spicy. Heading towards the finish, it's more fruity. Those apples, fruity apple, sticky, syrupy, a little bit of toffee on the finish. As regards with this whiskey, it's light. I think it's maybe a Speyside. It's got that light Speyside note going on. A little bit outdoor. I don't think I'm able to hazard a guess at maybe a distillery yet, but yeah, I think it's known with North Star. Could be a Diageo one. But nothing jumping out at the minute. It's light, it's nice, delicate, but it's got that high proof on it. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I may come back to that a wee bit later, guys, once I get through the others. So let me try the second one. How's that Springbank, Polo? Okay? Yeah, good. Yeah, babysitting duties today, guys. So this one's a little bit darker in colour. A little bit more mahogany, a little bit more dark bronze. But it looks, again, they look really, really oily and thick and syrupy. And that coat line is right up the glass there, and there's nothing moving yet as yet. But let's dive in. Time's getting on. Wow, this is a big, this is drier. Again, I think there's some sort of finish going on. Maybe it could be port, it could be ruby port, it could be anything. It could be PX, it could be Oloroso. Maybe some red wine finish going on there somewhere. But there's definitely, this is not as, it's a wee bit heavier than the first one. This is darker. I know the colour looks darker, but it smells darker. Wow. It's not as light and floral as that one. This is a wee bit more, I would not say dirty, but it's a wee bit darker and a wee bit more down that dirty road maybe, but without it being too dirty. But this one is a little oaky note up front, little woody furniture polish thing going on. But once you get past that, it's lovely caramel, it's lovely toffee, a little bit biscuity. But there it does that nutty thing's there again. So whenever I get nutty and I get sherry, then Oloroso's usually my bag, but this could be port, it could be anything. Nutty, thinking almonds. It's gone a little bit cakey. So I'm thinking we have a cake here in the UK called a Battenberg. It's got that kind of Battenberg feel to it. But there's something dark and roasted maybe, or maybe toasted. Some toasted notes. But lots of chocolate again. Chocolate. And there's a wee bit of coffee on this one. Maybe some mocha. Very, very different to the other one. So, yeah, this is a wee bit darker. I can see maybe why David's put them in this order. That's a little bit lighter. This is a little bit darker and a little bit more heavy. But let's see let's send it down the hatch, folks. Cheers. Wow. Dry. Those sherry notes are definitely coming in big on this one. Drier. Sucks for a second there. It sucks a wee bit of the saliva out the palate. Spicy. It's maltier. It's a lead malty character here. Those dried fruits, dark fruits, raisins, sultanas, plums, all that dark stuff. It's got a little bit of a funky thing going on with this one as well. Can't quite put my finger on that one. It's got a lovely sweetness to it. And there's some spice, some cinnamon, clove. It's got a little funky thing here. But as it's developing into the... It's gone toffeed, fudgy. I think the ABV is a little bit lower than the first one. I think this is somewhere in the 40, 60, 50 ABV mark on this one. It's not as... That one's a little bit higher proofed, I think. This is quite interesting. It's quite funky. I almost went for a space either again. I think it could be Highland. Not that there's much difference, but this is much more sherry driven in this one. That's more light and fruity and maybe a wee bit more toffee. This is more kind of light toffee. This is more very, very dark toffee, dark coffee, maybe espresso, maybe a bit of mocha going in there as well. But chocolate in both of them. Wow. Let's do a little bit for the finish on this one. Funky, syrupy, sticky, fudgy. A little bit of spice in the finish, maybe some pepper going on. It's a little bit tannic. Really nice, really interesting twist on that one. There's a note that I can't just quite put my finger on. It's a wee bit funky thing. That's probably the best way of saying it. Wow, interesting. I think this could be a teenager as well. Don't know if North Star to do, I'm maybe hedging my bets here. I don't know if North Star to do many kind of... I know they do some non-age statements, but I don't think David would send me some non-age statements. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be in the teenage years as well. Wow, real nice. Let's do the third one, guys. Let's try and rattle through these. Behaving himself, innit? So let's get into this one. These two look right up my street. They're getting, as they go along the line, they're getting much, much darker. Oh, mamma mia, look at that bad boy. That is nice. Actually quite suits that whiskey friend glass. So, yeah, real nice. It's been covered up now. This must be covered up for an hour now. Oh, mamma mia. Chocolate. Milky chocolate. I think this is sherry again, man. Biscuity bready notes are there again, so it's similar to number 2 in a way. But this one smells a wee bit brighter. Not quite as dark and dense as number 2. That's why I was possibly thinking number 2 might have been a port cask finish, but I'm thinking now there's definitely some sherry going on there, man. Biscuity bready. Big sherry notes. Raisins. Sultanas, dried fruit, figs, dates, all that sherry stuff's there again. I think this could be a PX or an Oloroso. But, wow, it's going to be tough. I might get a wee better idea on the taste. This has gone a bit cakey as well, though. This is maybe more a sponge cake, fresh sponge cake. Maybe some red fruit through the middle of it. Maybe some raspberry through it. Maybe some strawberry through it. But definitely a sponge cake thing going on here. I think, looking at the three of them, the first one was more kind of very, very light and interesting. Gave a wee bit of kick with ABV. Number 2 is a bit more dark and a bit more dense, and it's heading maybe a wee bit down that funky, dirty road. Number 3 is somewhere in between, I think. This is... It's not as dense, it's not as dark, but it's definitely got something going on. All the sherry stuff's there. If you're a sherry lover, then yeah, I think this would be... I can't wait to find out what these are. Let's taste it. So, down the hatch, folks. Cheers, Polo. Oh, man. Nice whiskies, David. This is so dry, this one. In fact... think I might have had this one. This one tastes familiar. Very, very familiar, and I'm at a loss to put my finger on it. I might stab a guess later. I wouldn't know. I wasn't going too soon. Let me just get my bearings right. So this one, this is higher proof again. I think this might be heading towards a cask strength one. 55 plus this. 55 plus ABV. Definitely. It's intense. It's powerful. It's dry. Again, it sucks all the palate out. Then it becomes really mouth-watering. The dried fruit, dark fruit, all the usual sherry stuff there. This is a wee bit redder, I think. A wee bit more red in this. The boozy raisins are here in this one. Wow. Dates, prunes, plums. Might even be a wee bit of stone fruit in this one. Maybe a little touch of peach. But here we go again, man. It's gone nutty. Wow. So those nutty notes, I definitely favour Oloroso when I get those nutty notes. And it's cakey. This might not be so much more sponge cake. This is maybe some sort of bun. Bready bun. But wow. Let's try another little sip. These are so nice. Thank you very much, David. Wow. So nice. Wow. Finish. Toffee. Oaky, toffee, syrupy, sticky toffee. A little bit of spice going on at the end. Absolutely wonderful. So, that one. The bottle I was thinking was, well, the distillery I was thinking was one that I took to my trip to Speyside with a Dram Yankee, and that was a Glen Talkers. And that has got a wee bit of a likeness to Glen Talkers, so I think it's maybe some sort of, yeah, the more I sip on it, that'd be my guess on that one. But it's blind, so it could be anything, man. But let's get some water and I'll get on to the next one. This is the darkest of the lot. And that looks like it maybe got some sediment spinning around in the bottom of that, or it may just have been a dirty glass I poured it into, but that looks awesome. Really dark, rich mahogany on that one. Again, thick, oily, creamy, buttery looking, like it looks thick. But let's nose it. Okay, now I know why he saved this one to the end. This is super, super rich. Sherry rich. This is Oloroso. Big, massive chocolate note. It's got chocolate all over it. So much chocolate on this one. A little bit of spice there. The typical sherry stuff, guys, they're all there. The raisins, the figs, the dates, plums. But this is chocolate covered toffees there again. Almost fudgy, this one. A little bit of orange. Definitely honey. Definitely honey going on. Maybe a little bit of orange citrus going in there. A little bit of orange in the background. Could be lemon, could be orange. I'm thinking it's orange. Little marmalade thing going on. This again, guys, really smells familiar. There's some really strong characteristics from this one. Again, I might hazard a guess at the end, but I feel I've tasted something like this recently. Or it smells like I've nosed something like this recently. Really familiar. Again, that's got a wee funky thing going on, that. Beautiful sherry note. Nothing sweet about this one. Again, this one seems a wee bit dark and dense and no floral. It's just dark toffee, dark honey. Wow. Dark chocolate. Let's send it. Cheers, Polo. Cheers. Oh, that's so nice. So, so nice. Rich. Beautiful balance. Lots of toffee. The proof again is this could be another cask strength one. 55 plus ABV. Plum. Juicy plum. Red fruit. Cherry. This has got a wee bit of a pie thing going on. Maybe some sort of cherry pie. Oh, here come the nuts. Maybe is there such a thing as a nutty pie? Some sort of pie going on. Maybe pie crust. Nutty. It's honeyed. It's sticky. Spicy. Nutmegs there. Cloves there. Cinnamon's there. Let's do another sip of this. Fantastic. Wow. Bit of red fruit, the plum, maybe some red apple. But those legs are all over that now. Thick, thick legs on there. Spicy, chocolate, honeyed. Finish is some red fruit in the finish. It's a long finish. Maybe some red fruit. Spicy. Again, it's got that cakey finish. I'm saying cakey, but it's more kind of pie, cherry pie. I'm going to say apple pie, but it's not. There's no apple. I'm picking maybe some sort of, maybe some red pie. Maybe a nutty pie. And it's super, super finish. Okay, so the 4 drams are 4 fantastic drams, guys. I've got a little note here with what's on them. My initial thoughts are light, engaging, rich, lovely complexity to it. I feel I've drunk something like this, but maybe not as high in ABV. That's something maybe in a higher ABV I've got on this one. Second one was probably the densest, the darkest, maybe the funkiest of the 4. I think they could all be teenagers. That's I know it's not much of a stab, but I think they're all in teenage years. I don't think there's anything kind of under 10 here. I think they're all kind of somewhere 10 to 18, somewhere in there. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. They're all beautiful, beautiful whiskies, beautifully balanced, beautifully put together. I think the third one is a Glen Talker. That would be my stab. Is it a Glen Talker? My fourth one, I'm a wee bit more confident on the fourth one because I think I've done something like this recently. I think this is, and it's got that beautiful distillery character. I think that, for me, and knowing David for my love of this distillery, I think there's definitely a Glendalachie in here somewhere. Maybe I've got it in the wrong one, but I'm thinking that fourth one's probably a Glendalachie. The first two I'm not too sure of them. I think that maybe is definitely Speyside. I don't think there's nothing peaty, there's nothing Islay. I think they're more like Highland and Speyside. I think that's where we're all kicking around with all of these. Probably all I know David's got a love for Speyside, so I think they could all be Speysiders. But yeah, so I don't know what the first one is. Not too sure on the second one. 3 and 4, I think I've got a rough idea. But what is usually typically on blinds, you get shot down and dead to death. But let's get into these and see what they are. I'm really intrigued to see what they are. So David's gave me a little list here. I'm getting nervous, getting excited. Do I know what they are? So let's look in. So they are, they're North Star Spirits. Wow, man, what a start. So the first one, guys, is I can probably see that now. It's always amazing once you know what they are. But I think that one there is it's a Linkwood 16 and it's an Oloroso Hogshead. 223 bottles, 52% ABV. Wow, and it's an ABV cask series 20. bottled in 2022. So that was very, very, very nice. What did I say that was? Did I say that was... I think I had a thing about that ABV. I thought that was 50 to 55. So yeah, I'm not too far out there. Second one, wowee. That Linkwood's a teenager, innit? I think so, the second one is. So we've got the Blair Athol 16 refill hogshead. It's Oloroso again, man. 287 bottles, 49.5% ABV. So, and that's Cask Series 21, bottled in 2022. So yeah, so we've got a Linkwood and a Blair Athol, both fantastic. I've got quite a few bottles of Linkwood around. That's where I feel that I've maybe tried this, but I don't think I've got any kind of... I think I've got one cask strength Linkwood up there, but I think that's a Palo Cortado one, so it would be entirely different to that. But yeah, I can see where Linkwood's coming there. Blair Athol, yeah, I've not tried maybe as much Blair Athol as I should, but that is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful one. Okay. Drum roll. Drum roll. Number 3, Glen Talkers 14. And I'll tell you why, guys, that is so similar to the one that I took. It was a Glen Talkers. It was a Glen Talkers 14 from Cadenheads that I took with me to Scotland on the trip, and we shared it out on the trip in Scotland. So that was really, really familiar with that. What, 58.1% ABV. Wow. What did I say that was? 55 plus. So yeah, I'm in a ballpark there. Again, it looks like they're all Cask Series bottles. This was bottled Cask Series 21, bottled in 2022. And yes, a big, big round of applause for the whiskey friend, because number 4 is my beloved Glenallachie. It's a Glenallachie 13 Oloroso, which that's where this was coming from, because I've just recently reviewed the Glenallachie 13, and funnily enough, I've just sold a bottle to Mr. David Mason of a Glenallachie 13 Oloroso, but it's not this one. Still, that one's still hanging around, that fourth one. It's still nutty, that nutty thing's there. The more you sit with this, then that Glenallachie character definitely jumps out at it. So this one's bottled at 56.8, your cask strength again. Cask Series 17, bottled in 2021. So David says, Dear Alan, I really hope you enjoy these 4 samples that I've sent you. Even though they're all Oloroso casks, they taste very different. As you always say, the whiskey is in the sharing. It's really the whiskey, the pleasure is in the sharing, David. But thank you very much for that, David. I'm really, really chuffed to get to try these. This video is probably going to take a wee bit longer than I wanted to say. I might have to cut a few bits out of it. Big thanks from Polo. Polo's definitely enjoying these Springbank 10 in the glass. He's been a real Springbank man. So if you want to check him out on Instagram, guys, he has his own Instagram page. It's Polo Will 2023. So it's POLOWIL 2023. Give him a wee follow, guys, and check him out. He puts some cracking pictures on every day. So he's out and about in the garden. He's got a load of wee outfits. The wife's gone off a rocker, I think. So big, big thanks. David, I'm going to enjoy really getting into the rest of these. Thank you very much for sending them. As always, I'm the Whiskey Friend. If you've liked the video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to smash that button down below. If you want to catch up with more content, don't forget to click the bell. And as always, guys, check out my Patreon page. David's one of those Patreons. Very, very happy to have them on board. They look after me. They're not demanding. Love each and every one of them. If you hang on to the end, I'll pop a little list of my Patreons on the end. You can check them out and see who's there. See if there's anybody you know. You want to join my little community, feel free to check out the page and join on. But other than that, I'm Alan. I'm the Whiskey Friend. And as always, pleasure is in the sharing. Glenallachie 13, Oloroso. Do the hatch, folks. Cheers.